And it is a mission to embrace the dignity and equality of all people. The Matthew Shepard Foundation has been working for years to stop hate crimes in this country. Deirdre Fitzpatrick joins us now with more on this topic.
Yeah, Matthew Shepard was a 21-year-old University of Wyoming student who was brutally beaten and died in one of the most well-known hate crimes in modern history. 25 years later, his parents are still working to erase hate through the Matthew Shepard Foundation, and they'll be presenting their message locally today. And Judy and Dennis Shepard are joining us this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Deirdre.
I did a double take when I read it had been 25 years, because in my head, that doesn't feel like that, you know, but I also look to the kids that you'll talk to, and to them, they weren't even alive during that time.
No, it's hard for them to understand this was a real event, that it would happen like this, because their world is so much more accepting now.
Yeah, Dennis, does that also kind of blow your mind too, of just what a different world a lot of these kids are growing, particularly in California, we should point out. They're growing up in a world where they have conversations and they see things on TV that Matthew and I certainly never would have when I was growing up.
Well, it's just common these days, and in a way it's a blessing, because they don't have to go through the struggles that earlier generations went through just to try and get equal rights that they deserve to have, because they're American citizens.
Yeah.
And so the struggle is less, and that's the way it should be. It's great for these kids. They can just be themselves.
You give easily 100 of these speeches a year, which is a lot, and you've been doing this now for, you know, pushing 25 years. When you talk to kids, what is the message that you want them to walk away with? What should they be thinking, feeling, or feel inspired by when they walk out that door?
Well, I want them to understand that the answer to this problem still of violence against the gay community and discrimination that exists everywhere, even in California where legally it doesn't, legally, is that they are the ones that are going to be responsible for the change. When they vote, when they get the power as politicians or leaders of their community or their church or their bank or whatever, they have the power to make the change. This is the world they have known since they were born. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to lose that world, which frankly right now we're kind of in danger of. They know the fight is going to be theirs, but it's also a marathon. It is not a sprint.
Yeah.
It takes time to get these changes codified into law and change people's hearts and minds.
On a human level, when a family goes through a tragedy like yours did, there's a decision to be made. Do you retreat in or do you go out?
Right.
You obviously retreated out. What has been for you the dividend that has paid on a personal level, Dennis?
Well, just to see these kids being able to be themselves, that's the most important thing. They're able, instead of having a double life where they have spent half their life hiding who they are, they can just be themselves and use that time, extra time, to succeed.
Yeah.
And it's so great to see them smiling and just being themselves, instead of being in some of these other states where you're afraid to even mention LGBTQ, let alone be around. You don't even want to be associated with it. Because
I mean, at the root of it, you're talking about kindness.
Exactly, kindness, and it starts in the community. You have to have a community that is willing to accept something different and to educate themselves about what that means, and not just about the gay community, but all the marginalized communities. There has to be a level of understanding and kindness for everyone.
Well, you're doing a presentation today for some local school students in Natomas, and then tonight the community is actually invited to go out. The youth session is going on from 3:45 until 5, but the community session is happening from 6 to 8 tonight, and that will be at the Benvenuti Performing Arts Center in Natomas, and it's going on from 6 until 8, and you can see the information there on the screen, and again, it's at the Performing Arts Center. It's really generous of you to continue to share your story. I mean, I can't imagine that it gets easier, but it certainly is a very powerful and necessary thing to do.
Thank you. We just think we're doing what Matt would be doing if he were still here.
Without a doubt.
And it's needed so much these days. The hate is spilling over, and we need to start pushing it back again.
Yeah, well, the conversation continues, and hopefully some inspiration on that topic tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Deirdre. The federal government is relaunching a program to provide